Good evening, coin people of the world. Welcome back to a quick video here. We just got a order back from PCGS for a short little 6-coin crossover attempt. Sent in, I want to say it was 5 Morgans and a Walking Liberty $50, if I remember correctly. I haven't looked at the grades online. The crossovers come by FedEx, for those who don't know, and you send a order in for crossover, it comes back FedEx. Everything else, to my knowledge, comes back USPS, typically priority mail. So, without a lot of wasted time, it's late, I'm tired, it's been a long week. I will see if we can get into this. This was more, at the time I sent this in, it was more, I don't even know why I sent them in. Well, a couple of them I do. There was 3 NGC coins that had a lot of nice color. They were common date, 64 and 65. I think there was 165 and 364. There was also a couple of Soapbox Annex coins. There was a 1891 better date Morgan dollar in MS63. And then the big one, which I'm pretty positive won't cross, was a Walking Liberty 1919D, I believe, in a VF25 soapbox, which I got pretty much for a steal off of Great Collections, if I remember correctly. But, you know, I don't send in the first generation A&A slabs. Those I keep, and AccuGrade slabs. You're not familiar with those? So as promised, the A&A slabs that I was talking about are the 2-letter slabs. And when we refer to A&A, that's because if you look at the slab, it says A&A, official A&A grading. This was a 1921 piece dollar and an MS61. This is a fine piece, no pun intended. It's got some chatter on the cheek, which is why the grade is low, but of course grading standards were quite a bit stricter back when these you know, were being used in the mid and later 80s. So you know, I tend to keep these no matter what. I mean, there's a lot of them that will upgrade, so anybody watching this video, if you have or come across any of these, I will buy them in the A&A holder, and if we agree that the grade is conservative, certainly I'll pay the grade that we come to an agreement. You know, like this coin I think is properly graded at 62. It's 79.0 is one of those tough dates that the luster comes kind of flat, and it's a little bit chalky looking, and it's but you know, aside from that, the cheek is fairly clean. And you know, this coin here, this is an ADS, as common as the day is long, but look at the reflectivity of those fields, right? You'll notice that. This has a really nice look with that rusty toning around the rim. And you know, these slabs are famous for imparting some really beautiful toning, which is one of the reasons that they're quite popular with collectors. Some old school people that I know love these holders. Some people that I know, really, that's all they buy. But you can see the eye appeal from that natural toning. I mean, this coin, I would say it's safe to say, has probably never been dipped. And, you know, you got a pretty good look. I mean, that cheek has got a few marks, no doubt. And, you know, Definitely not a gem, but it's got really strong mirrors. It's got beautiful eye appeal. And I would agree with that grade. You know, maybe it's a 63 now. Probably is. You know, but it doesn't mean all the coins are graded 61 or 62. Here we have a beautiful 81S. I'm trying not to reveal the grade here. Look how clean that cheek is. Look how clean the fields are. All right, let's take a quick gander, and then we'll get into the crossover in a second. I still don't know the results. This coin is really splendid in hand, and the color on the reverse is just ridiculous. Ridiculously nice. It's got reds, rose, teal, magenta, aqua, sunset, and you know, some people struggle with how to differentiate natural from artificial toning. You know, natural toning tends to tone in the direction of the light spectrum, Roy G. Biv. So when you see reds blending with oranges, blending with yellows, that's a good sign, and we see a lot of that here. And then into the greener colors, green, blue, indigo, violet, in that order. But it also is thicker. Artificial toning almost looks like it was painted on, and thinner, and, you know, whereas natural toning is, you know, deep within the fibers of the metal, if you will, deep at the molecular level. It's, you know, it just takes experience, really. You look at enough coins, you look at some of the garbage on eBay that's just painfully obvious, but there are people that just want that color and they don't care how it got there. You know, if it was put through the 30-day process of, you know, bake it and, you know, make it. So anyway, this coin here is a second generation, the green one, MS66. And, you know, 81S being such a common date, not so sure whether it would, I mean, it's a hard grade to say, yeah, they'll cross it at that grade. I mean, that's a tough grade. You know, 1902P is one of those sleeper dates. And I think there's one or two other very good ones here. There's a lot, actually quite a few good ones, but it's 89O and MS62 is a date you don't see very often. And this is a wonderful coin that I think would probably 3 today. And I'm sorry, the lighting again. I have major lighting issues. Let me try. I don't know if this is going to help or make it worse. I'm putting a spotlight. Yeah, I think it's making it worse. So, you know, this 89O is it's quite lovely. There's not much chatter. The strike is average. You know, it's a little soft. The hair is soft. The luster is full. The color is nice. The overall look is just, you know, it's really nice. It's that's a little better on the lighting. I'm trying to talk and try to find the right lighting. Not a lot of chatter on this coin for a 62. You know, you've got moderate breast feathers. I mean, there's, you know, some there, but it's a typical New Orleans mint, a little bit maybe above average for a New Orleans, late 80s. But it's a date you don't see super often in mint state. So there's just a few of my ANA slabs. Let's put these away. And then let's get into the crossover. Wait a second, put these back where they belong. I spoke of the AccuGrades before. AccuGrades are simply, they were the first grading service, actually. Before PCGS, before ANA, AccuGrade came along in 1984, and it was founded in Connecticut. And they were in business for over 10 years. They moved to Florida. They, I have a a double-sized holder, a beautiful 1879S with AccuGrade graded MS65, but I've got about 40 AccuGrade coins, and I also try not to crack these out because I'm just of the belief that they're not making any more of them, and I've seen them go way up in value the last few years. They're harder to find. You know, like I said, they're not making any more of them, so that was not the one I meant to pull, but that's a good one. There's another peace dollar somewhere. I must have misplaced it. I have a peace dollar that has a half grade. I think it's a 22 piece with a 63.5 grade, which I find to be a novelty piece. But I obviously put those away in the wrong order. So let's get back to the crossover. So the crossover box came in the FedEx shipment, and we've got this brown box, and we've got, I think, 5 Morgans and 1 Walking Liberty. We've, if I remember correctly, the 5 Morgans were an 1880S NGC MS65. Actually, let's take the box off and let's see if we can preserve the results or keep the results hidden. I suppose I'm going to know right away if the coin crossed or not by looking at the slab, but let's see. Let's see if I can do this as systematically as possible. So we've got a silver box. That's my first silver box. We'll get some paperwork. We'll put that to the side. It's my first silver box. PCGS 35. We'll give that a quick cut. And let's see if we've got, I mean, the crossover rate is a paltry 31 point something %. So, I mean, 3 out of 10 are crossing these days. So, to me, that's, I've got 6. So, you know, if 2 out of 6 cross, that's actually better than the average. I mean, that's pretty much, I mean, 1 out of 6 is 16%. So 2 would be 33%. I guess I'd be real happy with 4. I mean, I wouldn't have sent them all in if I didn't think they all had a chance. There's 3 really nice 64s. The 1880S and NGC 65, I'm a little concerned about. It's got amazing color, but I don't know if they're going to 65 it because the luster is a little bit muted because how deeply toned it is. But it's really got an impeccable look. And then the Walking Liberty half dollar, I think. In a perfect world, I prefer to not cross coins and send them in raw because they have the handicap of looking at the coin through the holder. And if they have any doubt at all, if they're not 100% sure it's going to cross, they're not going to cross it because once they take it out of the holder, they're obligated to cross it at that point. You do have the option of crossing at the same grade or crossing at a different grade of your choice. So I selected the option of crossing all of these at grade. A lot of times people might be willing to go a grade lower. I didn't think that was necessary, or I didn't think that any of the coins were worthy of going a grade lower. I contemplated doing it on the 1919D Walking Liberty half to go as low as VF20, but I just decided, you know what, leave it in the NX holder if it doesn't cross. All right, so I see 1 by itself and I see 5. They all look like PCGS holders, but I guess it's hard for me to tell. I don't know what's going on here. This is the first time I've sent coins in for cross in a long, long time. So this first one is in a PCGS holder, I know that. They all look like PCGS holders. I can't believe I would have gone 6 for 6. I guess we'll find out. So, let's see. See if we can get good light. I think this is that 1880S that I was talking about. I set these up like this to try to get better lighting, but once again, I think I failed miserably. Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, so this is definitely the 1880S. And you can see, I mean, the holder itself is also so much nicer than the previous holder. The previous holder was scuffed up, wasn't doing very well. But this has some terrific color, as you can see on the reverse. And Here's the obverse. Look at that cheek, right? Just amazing. Just fantastic color. And this was NGC MS65. And you know, the luster, I guess, is better than I thought. That old holder, you know, was scuffed and kind of definitely needed to be replaced, even if I had just sent it into NGC to get it reholdered. So I guess we'll take a look, and I can see that PCGS agreed that it was worthy of the 65 grade. So you don't see NGC and PCGS getting along all the time, but, you know, I think, you know, they have to put, you know, personal feelings aside and just do the right thing by the merits of the coin. Grade the coin on the merits of the coin, not the fact that it happened to be in an NGC holder of the same name prior to being crossed over. So that's a lovely, just a lovely piece. And you know, I'm not getting the full look of how nice that coin is. You know, we'll look at the true views probably after. I don't want to give away the other coins quite yet. That's actually pretty good. Trying to find the right place to get the color, but you know, we're on an iPhone here, and we're 14 minutes in when I thought this was going to be a quick video. So let's go to the next one before we spend the whole night here. And we're going to look at the reverse first, because we're going to try to keep it from the grade. So here's another one that apparently made the grade. I mean, the crossover rate's 31%, so I'm already at least 2 for 2, because I did cross. This was MS64 with NGC. I think this might have been the 83.0, or it could have been the 98.0. There was an 83.0 and a 98.0. And yeah, this was the 83.0. Look at that rainbow around the rim. This is a spectacular coin. You know, I thought this had a shot of an upgrade. This was in an NGC 64. That color, ladies and gentlemen. Now, why wouldn't this 5, right? Well, let's find out. Yeah, same grade, 64. You know, I mean, I'm happy with that. I said minimum grade, but I guess it just didn't quite have the luster to get there. But maybe 64 plus with all that incredible color. Just a beauty. All right, we're very happy that we're at least crossing at grade. Here's the next. Trying to remember, this must be the 98.0. So this one had, you know, more beautiful natural toning. And this was also in an NGC 64 holder. So again, it's super clean. Super clean, super nice. You know, I don't know what that black stuff is. I don't remember that being on there before. That does not look good. I don't know where that came from, but this one crossed at grade 2, so we're actually 3 for 3. So anything more is a bonus at this point. The fact that they're all in PCGS holders from the looks of it is astonishing, because I can't imagine I went 6 for 6, but I did request they all only be crossed at grade. And trying to remember what coin this is with an S. I don't remember there being any other S's. Oh, this was the 82S. I forgot I had this coin. This was in a Soapbox Annex. 1882S Soapbox Annex holder, old white, not an A&A holder, but the next next generation up with the black barcodes. So this one, super clean again. Wonderful color. It looks a little bit, almost looks like they've restored. Looking at those black dots, it looks like there was some restoration. I mean, it's got some PL qualities to it, there's no doubt. I wouldn't say they'd PL it, but I'm starting to see things that lead me to believe it maybe. but not the reverse. I don't think there's enough PL there to warrant a PL designation for sure. Certainly not on the reverse, so I'm going to guess it probably crossed at grade again at 64. I don't see this one being an upgrade, but yeah, 64 it is. So we're 4 for 4. Wonder if I'm going to get the old, oh, I do get the old slabs back. I can see them. Okay, that's good. Show those after. All right, so here we are, 4 for 4. And let's see what the next one brings. And we're in a PCGS holder again. And this has to be the 85-0. Yeah, this must be the 85-0. This was also in an NGC 64. Very clean coin. How did you get a 5 out of these guys? Oh, this was the 91-0. I'm sorry. This was the 91-0 in the Annex 63. I didn't send in the 85-0. Okay. This was the 1891-0 in an MS 63 holder. So they obviously crossed it at grade. I'm kind of shocked. I wasn't expecting that. And there it is. MS 63. Wow. 5 for 5, and now, I mean, the last coin is the home run coin that I wasn't so convinced they would be willing to put in their holder. But this would be a grand slam if we went 6 for 6. So this is a key date for those of you not too familiar with the Walk in Liberty series. The 1919D is one of the scarcest dates in the series, especially above, really above very good. I mean, fine is a great coin, and to get a very fine would be, you know, pretty darn scarce. So, you know, the more I look at it, the more I'm not convinced it's a VF25. I think it's a fine 15 to VF20. That breast left looking, Liberty's right, is, you know, more than halfway full. The dies were changed in after 1921. You're not going to get the skirt lines that you putting those down so without revealing the grade. You start to get the skirt line definition in more detail post 1921. Normally there would have to be anything after 1921. You're going to want to see more skirt lines, but we're looking for rounding on Liberty's body, really, and it's a little bit flat, which means it's worn smooth a little bit. There's a little bit of rim damage there above the I in Liberty, between the I and the B, and that concerned me. I thought that might hold it back, but you've got nice detail on Liberty's sandal there. The Liberty's right leg, or the back leg, as well as the front. Overall, you know, it's probably in that fine 15 to VF20 range, but this was in a VF25 holder. I think I asked them to cross it at grade, and it looks like they obliged. So they are the experts, not me. And I am shocked beyond shocked. Here's the, I can't believe I went 6 for 6. That's got to be a all-time record. Here's the proof is in the pudding, as they say. There's your VF25. Annex. As Ben the Coin Geek would do, right? So Ben, are you watching? We're 6 for 6. Tell Ben that Sam's Coins went 6 for 6 on some not necessarily easy coins to cross. Here's the 91-0. And here's the 82S. There's your soapbox. All right, there's your soapbox. See the 6-digit black serial numbers on all of them. That's the difference between the A and A. And then here's your NGC cert numbers. Whoops, got them back here. spread the coins out and line them up. 83O goes right here. Boop. MS64, 80S, MS65. So this just tells me, I mean, I selected these, and once again, it just reinforces the fact that, you know, I feel like I'm getting a better idea of how they're grading, and not just how they're grading, but how to grade, right? I believe they're experts. As opposed to the people that whine and complain about the PCGS grading being too strict and not agreeing with them all the time, I think it's a better approach to look at it, not with sour grapes, but as an opportunity to learn and say, what are they seeing that I am not seeing? Now, they're not always going to be right. You're not always going to agree. But you should more often than not, right? They should get it right at least 80% of the time, right? It's being looked at by 2 graders and a finalizer. So it's getting 3 highly experienced opinions. I can't see it being that far off on a regular basis, or, you know, less than very infrequently, really, or more than very infrequently. So the fact that I was able to pick 6 coins out of the hundreds that I have, and I literally have hundreds. I'm not going to go through them all, but I've got hundreds of coins here, and I chose these because I thought they were viable candidates. I also chose, you know, the Walk in Liberty that I saw off of Great Collections. You know, I didn't know if it would, I didn't think it would cross. I thought that was the one I was worried, because that's the one that's going to be the most expensive. And it's super hard to get the Walk in Liberties to cross. I've graded so many of them raw. But it's telling me I'm sort of seeing, you know, getting better at this. The fact that I went 6 for 6, I'm not going to say I'm proud of myself, but I guess I'm proud of myself. So here's that submission. 6, let's see if I can. It says delivered. Why can't I pull it up here? Hold on. View order details. Okay. All right. So here's this most recent submission. All right, so let's take a look at the VF20, at the 1919D. All right, so it's still working on the images, but I was more concerned with the population. All right, there's 58 in this grade and a population higher of 652. It's got a PCGS price guide of 700. I got this on Great Collections for, I think, $220. So, I mean, that's a home run, right? You know, it's not going to sell for 700, but it might. You know, these coins sell they sell strong. That's just the way it is. They sell strong. So we can go to Coinfax and take a closer look at, you know, auction results. So here's your 20 grade. And yeah, I mean, Heritage sold a couple. One in December, one in July, 384 and 304, and then the 25 grade, 408. That was in 2018. NGC, I just can't, you know, one did sell in September for just under 400, but NGC tend to sell softer. So, you know, even if you go to VF30, the most recent one was in 2020. And then, you know, in June of VF35 sold for 960. You know, I had a 27S that graded XF40, and the PCGS price guide was 525, and it sold for over 700 on eBay. So it's hard to predict. You know, I know that the 1919D is a very desirable date, and that's a very desirable grade, and it's a pretty damn rare grade. So I could probably, you know, squeeze 700 out of it. But, you know, it's not all about the money. It's, you know, it's there's a lot more to it. But let's go back and take a quick look. We don't have images, unfortunately. They're not ready yet, which is unfortunate. I was hoping to get some of these. No image yet available. That's too bad. All right. Well, the main reason I went here was to look at the image on some of these. We know, like, these Morgans are all common. But I'll look at the 91O. That was another one I got on Great Collections for, I want to say, low 300s, maybe 320, something along those lines. You know, this has got to be a $500 coin. Yeah, 6. Yeah, so I mean, I'm very happy. Obviously, I'm babbling. So clearly, as my when I used to play poker on a regular basis, and yes, I was a profitable poker player, but I haven't played in a long time. But my buddy that I used to go down there with, whenever I'd have a good day or I was winning, he'd say, "You're talking to the neighborhood again. Somebody else, your parade, it's rain. You know, somebody else is having a rainy day on their parade, so stop talking to the neighborhood," he used to say. So anyway, let Ben the Coin Geek know that Sam's coins went 6 for 6, crossing over Annex and NGC coins to PCGS. Hope you all got something out of this video. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.